The Poetic Edda, Part 49. Then spake Gangleri. Have any more matters of note befallen among the Aesir? A very great deed of valour did Thor achieve on that journey. Har made answer. Now shall be told of those tidings which seemed of more consequence to the Aesir. The beginning of the story is this, that Balder the Good dreamed great and perilous dreams touching his life. When he told these dreams to the Aesir, then they took counsel together, and this was their decision: to ask safety for Balder from all kinds of dangers. And Frigg took oaths to this purport, that fire and water should spare Balder. Likewise iron and metal of all kinds, stones, earth, trees, sickness, beasts, birds, venom, serpents. And when that was done and made known, then it was a diversion of Balder's and the Aesir, that he should stand up in the thing, and all the others should some shoot at him, some hew at him, some beat him with stones. But whatsoever was done hurt him not at all, and that seemed to them all a very worshipful thing. But when Loki Laufeyarson saw this, it pleased him ill that Balder took no hurt. He went to Fen Salir to Frigg, and made himself into the likeness of a woman. Then Frigg asked if that woman knew what the Aesir did at the thing. She said that all were shooting at Balder, and moreover, that he took no hurt. Then said Frigg, neither weapons nor trees may hurt Balder. I have taken oaths of them all. Then the woman asked, have all things taken oaths to spare Balder? And Frigg answered, there grow a tree sprout along westward of Valhall. It is called mistletoe. I thought it too young to ask the oath of. Then straightway the women turned away. But Loki took mistletoe and pulled it up and went to the thing. Hoder stood outside the ring of men because he was blind. Then spake Loki to him, why dost thou not shoot at Balder? He answered, because I see not where Balder is, and for this also, that I am weaponless. Then said Loki, do thou also after the manner of other men, and show Balder honour as the other men do. I will direct thee where he stands. Shoot at him with this wand. Hoder took mistletoe and shot at Balder, being guided by Loki. The shaft flew through Balder, and he fell dead to the earth. And that was the greatest mischance that has ever befallen among gods and men. Then when Balder was fallen, words failed all the Aesir, and their hands likewise to lay hold of him. Each looked at the other, and all were of one mind as to him who had wrought the work. But none might take vengeance. So great a sanctuary was in that place. But when the Aesir tried to speak, then it befell first that weeping broke out, so that none might speak to others with words concerning his grief. But Odin bore that misfortune by so much the worst, as he had most perception of how great harm and loss for the Aesir were in the death of Balder. Now when the gods had come to themselves, Frigg spake and asked who there might be among the Aesir who would fain have for his own all her love and favour. Then let him ride the road to Hel, and seek if he may find Balder, and offer Hel a ransom, if she will let Balder come home to Asgard. And he is named Hermóður the Bold, Odin's son, who undertook that embassy. Then Sleipnir was taken, Odin's steed, and led forward, and Hermóður mounted on that horse and galloped off. The Aesir took the body of Baldur and brought it to the sea. Hringkorni is the name of Baldur's ship. It was greatest of all ships. The gods would have launched it and made Baldur's pyre thereon, but the ship stirred not forward. Then word was sent to Jotunheim after that giantess who is called Hyrrockin. When she had come, riding a wolf and having a viper for bridle, then she leaped off the steed, and Odin called to 4 berserks to tend the steed. But they were not able to hold it until they had felled it. Then Hyrrockin went to the prow of the boat and thrust it out at the first push, so that fire burst from the rollers, and all lands trembled. Thor became angry and clutched his hammer, and would straightway have broken her head, had not the gods prayed for peace for her. Then was the body of Balder borne out on shipboard, and when his wife Nanna, the daughter of Nep, saw that straightway her heart burst with grief, and she died. She was borne to the pyre, and fire was kindled. Then Thor stood by and hallowed the pyre with Mjolnir, and before his feet ran a certain dwarf which was named Litur. Thor kicked at him with his foot and thrust him into the fire, and he burned. People of many races visited this burning. First to be told of Odin, how Frigg and the Valkyrs went with him, and his ravens. But Freyr drove in his chariot with the boar called Goldmane or Fearful Tusk, and Heimdallr rode the horse called Goldtop, and Freya drove her carts. Thither came also much people of the Rime giants and the hill giants. Odin laid on the pyre that gold ring, which is called Draupnir. This quality attended it, that every 9th night there dropped from it 8 gold rings of equal weight. Baldur's horse was led to the bale fire with all his trappings. Now this is to be told concerning Hermóður, that he rode 9 nights through dark dales and deeps, so that he saw not before he was come to the river Gjoll, and rode unto the Gjoll bridge, which bridge is thatched with glittering gold. Modgudr is the maiden called who guards the bridge. She asked him his name and race, saying that the day before there had ridden over the bridge 5 companies of dead men. But the bridge thunders no less under thee alone, and thou hast not the colour of dead men. Why ridest thou hither on Hell way? He answered, I am appointed to ride to Hell to seek out Balder. Hast thou perchance seen Balder on Hell way? She said that Balder had ridden there over Gjoll's bridge, but down, and North Leith, Hell way. Then Hermóð rode on, till he came to the Hell gate. He dismounted from his steed, and made his girths fast, mounted and pricked him with his spurs. And the steed leaped so hard over the gate that he came nowise near to it. Then Hermóð rode home to the hall, and dismounted from his steed, went into the hall, and saw sitting there in the high seat Baldur, his brother, and Hermóð tarried there overnight. At morn Hermóð prayed Hell that Baldur might ride home with him, and told how great weeping was among the Aesir. But Hell said that in this wise it should be put to the test, whether Baldur were so all beloved as had been said. If all things in this world, quick and dead, weep for him, then he shall go back to the Aesir. But he shall remain with Hel, if any gainsay it, or will not weep. Then Hermóð arose, but Baldur led him out of the hall, and took the ring drop near, and sent it to Odin for a remembrance. And Nanna sent Frigg a linen smock, and yet more gifts, and to Fulla a gold finger ring. Then Hermóð rode his way back, and came into Asgard, and told all those tidings which he had seen and heard. Thereupon the Aesir sent over all the world messengers to pray that Baldur be wept out of Hell. And all men did this, and quick things, and the earth, and stones, and trees, and all metals, even as thou must have seen that these things weep when they come out of frost and into the heat. Then, when the messengers went home, having well wrought their errand, they found in a certain cave where a giantess sat, she called herself Thuk. They prayed her to weep Baldur out of Hell. She answered,
Thuk will weep waterless tears for Baldur's bale fair, living or dead. I loved not the churl's son. Let Hell hold to that she hath.
and men deem that she who was there was Loki Laufhjardsson, who hath wrought most ill among the Aesir. Then said Gangleri, exceeding much Loki has brought to pass, when he has first been caused that Baldur was slain, and then he was not redeemed out of Hell. Was any vengeance taken on him for this? Har answered,
This thing was repaid in him, in such wise that he shall remember it long. When the gods had become wroth with him as was to be looked for, he ran off and hid himself in a certain mountain. There he made a house with 4 doors, so that he could see out of the house in all directions. Often throughout the day he turned himself into the likeness of a salmon, and hid himself in the place called Franagar Falls. Then he would ponder what manner of wile the gods would devise to take him in the waterfall. But when he sat in the house, he took twine of linen and knitted meshes as a net is made since. But a fire burned before him. There he saw that the Aesir were close upon him, and Odin had seen from Hridsgrafr where he was. He leaped up at once and out into the river, but cast the net into the fire.